3 months later.
Wake up, sunshine.
Okay.
I thought that's what I called you.
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
What?
Overdid it on the soporific.
That's Bill's voice.
Why do I feel like I've had this conversation before?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just glad you're in the mood to converse again. Seriously, you took so much of that snake oil last night, I was starting to think you wanted me quiet for good.
The game wanted you to take a shot, but maybe Bill would have died anyways. Maybe. Bill is a ghost. He's something. I don't know. Spoiler, Bill dies anyway. He kind of has to. He's got to do it to get the story moving. Especially if he's a ghost. I do want you quiet for good, Bill. I just need a break now and then. Yeah, no, I would say that... Now, alright. So this is kind of a little unrelated, but I'm a huge Stargate fan, and there was an episode where one person got stuck in another person's brain, and this kind of makes me, think of that, and from what I saw, this would get pretty old pretty quickly. I want you quiet for good, Bill.
That was the idea.
Come now, you don't really mean that.
I do, Bill.
Believe me, I do.
Yes, I do.
I know it's not easy, but there's really no need.
Not easy. Bill, I've been hearing your voice since you died. You don't shut up unless I take that accursed medicine. I'd say that qualifies as a bit more than not easy.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You think I enjoy being trapped here, listening to you whine about how hard your life's become? You at least still have yours.
Damn. There's flowers over here and over here. So why can't you just leave me alone? I feel like you're making me go insane. Oh, let's lay the guilt trip.
I'm losing my grip on reality, and it's all because of you.
Believe me, I know. It's not a pretty situation. But the bottom fact is, you're stuck with me. So you can either keep living this way and ruin your life even more than you already have, or you can do as I've told you and try to figure out a way to let me move on.
I know, find the burglar from the flower shop. Okay, this life isn't also bad. No, this life is bad.
Right. For the 1000th time, you want me to find the burglar from the flower shop.
Yes, exactly.
I still don't get how that's going to help.
I've told you several times, although to be fair, if you actually listened to me, I'd still be alive. At any rate, you wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if not for him. Once the criminal has been caught and is in custody, we'll both get what we want.
Don't put this on me, Bill. You went and grabbed the guy. Revenge, justice, or a decent night's sleep? I feel like we're kind of the guy who wants justice.
Justice?
More than that, you'll have that elusive thing you always wanted to give others. Closure.
You do realize the trail's pretty much frozen at this point. Our man has seemingly vanished into the ether.
That's no excuse not to keep trying. I know the cases Upton's been giving you these past few months haven't been the most thrilling, but they've at least kept you active. So just keep at it. Something has to turn up eventually. Unless, of course, you want to wind up in Riverview Asylum. And if that happens, I'm really not going to keep quiet.
Fine.
Good man. Now, I suggest you stop talking to thin air, or Adelaide's going to start wondering if you've gone mental. Or just maybe she'll stop wondering.
Very funny.
All right, let's take a look around.
I always like that self-portrait of Adelaide's mother, even if the eyes do always follow you around the room.
You tend to do that.
That's a fun little apparatus Adelaide got you. Very soothing.
Watching it spin long enough puts me right to sleep.
I'd say that's really more the soporific's doing.
I like that. That's kind of neat. So normally, in many point and clicks, when you click on something, using like a information icon or whatever, the main character usually will comment on the thing. But in this case,
Wouldn't you say it's time for a change of clothes, Miles? You've been wearing that coat for who knows how long.
So? Addie gave it to me. Besides, it gives me character.
Right. Brooding detective in a long black coat. That's never been seen before.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Never mind.
so instead of Miles commenting on the object, it is Bill. And, I like
Pretty.
that. Pretty
But
neat.
I'm glad I don't have a sense of smell anymore. Adelaide's last performance. She could really bring the house down. Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
Yeah,
It would be
seriously.
nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you appreciated some romantic music.
See? I'm telling you, man. Whole episode of Stargate where someone was stuck in another person's head and it drove them insane. It drove them both insane.
Miles, care to explain what you're doing?
Just checking to make sure everything that needs to be in here still is.
Right. If you start taking that stuff during the day, you're really going to have problems. Adelaide's mother certainly enjoyed pressing flowers. Do you suppose she does more of it now that she's retired?
I don't know.
It's admirable just how organized Adelaide is. Maybe someday the same can be said about you.
Lay off me!
Ha, that poster brings back some memories. That's from around the time you two met, isn't it?
Yes, back when Addie was singing at the Angel.
Wait, so does Adelaide know that we're...
I'm certain a permanent indentation in
Together?
the shape of your rear is starting to form on that thing.
I know that feeling. Alright, I think, oh. Did we do this?
It's admirable just how
Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, we'll go back there later. Hello!
Well, look who's awake.
Hi.
Ready to rejoin the living?
Maybe.
Very much so.
You were talking in your sleep again.
Did I say anything interesting?
Do you ever?
You have to admit, she's got you there.
How are you feeling?
A touch groggy. I think I took a bit too much of the soporific last night.
That's what I thought. When you went for your after-lunch nap, you'd barely gotten breakfast down. I saved you some bread and cheese if you're hungry.
Thank you, but I haven't got much of an appetite.
You really should regulate your doses more carefully, love. I'm sure dull senses and an empty stomach aren't much help to your work. By the way, a message arrived via courier for you this morning. I put it on the table along with today's newspaper.
Thank you, dear.
So she knows? She knows about the
It
medicine?
might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles.
Whatever, guy.
I always liked that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the city.
Wait, that's not the same painting from the flower shop, is it? I don't know.
You remember how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes. How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them.
Yeah, Thorn, I can get you up to speed. So I am a detective, a detective, and I had a partner, and we were investigating a burglary at a flower shop, and we did a stakeout, and we caught the guy, but my partner was killed in the process, and now my partner, for whatever reason, is in my head. So that is Bill, my partner, and I am Miles, I don't know if he's a detective anymore. I get a feeling he's not. Miles Jr.
I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles
Oh.
Jr. It's a spitting image.
Ah! That's kind of funny. Is that a shout out to Audrey 2 by any chance? Flower Shop Junior, Audrey 2? No, maybe? I don't know.
Didn't I give you two that clock as a wedding present? Too bad it stopped working.
Well, yeah, we caught the guy, but not exactly. We stopped him and he killed my partner and he got away. So we didn't actually catch him or anything. And we feel that finding him will help us release my partner from my head. That's what we feel.
Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move.
Fordham, a big case has come in, which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Rowan Coffee House for more details. Is that a V or a U? Rowan? C. Upton. That's the old boss, isn't it? Probably.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to meet her at the ruined coffee house. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got then.
So he's a PI. He retired. So his partner died, he retired, or he quit, or whatever. Meet Upton at the Ruin Coffee House? Something like that. Holy cow! The New Britain Gazette. Remembering the HMS Legia? So that was the Zeppelin, right? That was out front by the flower shop. Gascon Grand Dame dies. What does that say? Ethericity? It's real and it's coming, says scientists. Second bizarre murder baffles police. New Britain police are investigating a murder in Chunli, similar to the one which occurred in that borough just last month. Though, how far are we? Was it 3 months later? I think it was 3 months later, isn't it? The many details are confidential. At this time, we were able to confirm that both victims have been male and died from gunshot wounds. Price is 1 copper. 1844. There you go. That's a block of text if I've seen one. Yep. In private, I would normally read all this. I'm not going to do it on stream, though. Reading on stream can be tiresome for me. But, HMS Lenore. So there's, some Edgar Allan Poe inspiration in here, then. Alright, how do I get out of that? There we go. Can I go back to it? Okay, cool.
Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one.
Settle down.
Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard.
Also, this is in an alternative timeline. I don't know if the game has explicitly stated it yet, but I feel like we're in America, but it's not America. It's almost feels like it's a British colony still.
I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon. Bollingworth Ale, my favorite! And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday. Ah, the Havisham case. Our first time out as partners. First in a long line of successful cases. It's nice to have a memory of the good old days.
Yeah, not like the current days where your crime is unsolved.
It's been so long since you used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair?
What? It's ridiculous. I'm upset now. Model ships.
Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one.
Okay. Let's talk to our, books.
If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book.
Looks like the 60s to you? Well, it's 1844, so if you meant 1860s, you'd be close. But, I mean, it is alternate timeline, and this is steampunk, and of course, you know, we didn't really have steam
Patty?
for very long
Yes,
here.
dear?
Oh, we can talk directly. Good. Fuck.
What's that you're reading?
It's a collection of short stories by James Penstroke. It was just published earlier this month.
Any good?
Oh yes, I love his work. He's been publishing a new serial in Brentwell magazine. I can't wait to read it. Perhaps we both can together? I think you'd enjoy him.
Lately, I haven't been able to concentrate on a page for more than 5 minutes without nodding off.
That is a pity.
He looks like a mess. Oh, compliment her.
I've still got that song you sang last week at the Rutherford stuck in my head. You were amazing.
Thank you, Miles. That was a lovely evening. I always enjoy it when Joseph brings out his violin and we can relive the old days.
Certainly nicer than when he spends hours telling the exact same story whenever you visit.
They were very glad to see you, you know.
It's probably the most fun I've had in months, to be honest.
They've invited us for dinner again in a couple of weeks, if you're feeling up to it.
I hope I am.
Okay.
How are you? It feels as though we haven't seen much of each other these past few days.
I've been fine.
Addie, you're not a very good liar. What's on your mind?
I'm worried about you, Miles.
I know, but I've told you, there's no need to worry about me. I'm all right.
You're not all right, Miles. I may not be a good liar, but you can't fool me either.
I am all right. What do I have to do to convince you of that?
You could start by throwing out that sleeping medicine. It's turned you into a different person.
I need it to sleep, Addie. I'll become an even worse person without it, believe me.
I know Bill's death was hard for you. It was hard for all of us. But whatever it is that's bothering you, you know you can talk to me about it. That's what I'm here for.
I know, my love. Your support means the world to me. I need some time to deal with things. That's all. It won't always be like this, I promise.
Making promises you can't keep, eh, Miles?
Oh boy.
That'll end well.
So I feel like she doesn't know. The medicine is sleeping medicine. I don't know. Is it really sleeping medicine? I don't remember what the medicine was called.
Yes, one this
Oops.
evening. It's been a bit slow lately, but pretty soon it'll be debutante ball season, and all the Gascon grand dames will need their hair done. You sure I can't convince you to let me give you a little trim? You've been looking awfully scruffy lately.
Just a little.
What's the point? I've got no need to go peacocking around town. You're the only girl for me.
I like it when you're clean cut. It brings out your eyes.
The way my eyes have been looking lately, I think it's best to keep them hidden. I'll let you get back to your book.
Hey, what's up, Roddy? Roddy, were you into point-and-click adventures back in the day? The old stuff, Monkey Island, Indiana Jones, King's Quest, Space Quest. Oh,
That makes me wonder what old Mrs. Handbrook is up to these days.
yep.
Enjoy your reading. I'll be back soon.
Give my regards to Constance.
Look behind you, a three-headed monkey. Yep, that answers that. New Britain. All right. This is the ruined coffee house. Interesting. Hodgman River, Chunley, Fenton Swamp, Worcester. Is that how they pronounce that? Atlantic Ocean. I feel like this is New York, or whatever New York is now called. New Britain. All right. So we're here, and we're going here. Hell yeah.
Ah, the Rouen Coffee House. Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte.
Almost gives me the little Monkey Island vibe when you the first
Good to
game.
see you up and about again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down. Who said that? Where you first walk into town and you hop in the bar and it's got the pirates hanging all over the place, dudes dangling from the chandelier, brings back memories.
Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror, isn't it, Miles?
Whatever, dude. Settle down.
Best avoid that one. He looks like he might tip over at any moment.
He sure
Reminds
does.
me of when I was alive. Ah, good times. He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring.
Someone needs to bust these tables.
He's missing his left arm below the elbow. How do you suppose that happened?
I didn't even notice that. I kind of figured the arm was going across like that. Oh, I could talk to her.
If it isn't my old friend, up to no good.
Hello, Fordham. It's good to see you.
How did you get them to let you in here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding. He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory business practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of unsavory business practices are we talking about?
Oh, we haven't got time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything that isn't water.
Have any grog? Character portraits are totally influenced by Guybrush's super detailed portrait. The overall presentation is totally a Monkey Island feel. Yeah. Good memories or bad one? Totally good memories. Monkey Island is the game that totally blew me away in PC gaming. I played others as well. I did play the Indiana Jones games. I played King Quest and Leisure Suit Larry and what are the other ones? Oh my god. There were quite a few back in the day. And of course before that was like Maniac Mansion. Loved Maniac Mansion. But Monkey Island was the one that made me a lifelong PC gamer. Depends how long you spent trying to figure out the LucasArts logic. Yeah, there is that. So far in this game, it's a lot more narrative-driven than the old LucasArts games. Not that LucasArts didn't have a narrative, right? But like you said, there's a lot of that LucasArts logic or Moon logic or whatever where shit doesn't make sense. You know, the rubber chicken and the pulley going together. Why would you ever do that? And that was pretty much all of Monkey Island. I mean, looking back on it, it's not very good game design, but back then, it was just fine. But so far in this game, there hasn't been any of that. It's been lots of narrative stuff, choosing discussions. There's been a few point-and-clicky things I've had to do, but no Moon logic. Thimbleweed Park fell into that trap, sadly. I don't think it did only a little bit. I think Thimbleweed Park did a very good job of modernizing that type of point and click. It had some Moon logic, but I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed Thimbleweed Park. I got your message. What's going on? Managed to sneak another case past Snelling, eh? Yeah, let's see what she has to say about that.
Managed to sneak another case past Snelling, eh?
Yes, and if he finds out I did, it won't be pretty. This is a big one. We're not in Lost Cat territory anymore.
So stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
Oh, she was in the newspaper. I guess I gotta go read that now. The name sounds familiar. Yes, it does.
Laura Dupre. She's one of those Gascon Grand Dames, isn't she?
That's right. I'm surprised you've heard of her. I didn't think you cared about those types of people.
I don't, but Adelaide has several of them as clients. She gets paid to pretend to care about their lives, and I get to hear the sordid details.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
My condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse. Dupre's son Andrew was quick to suspect foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent,
Uh-oh.
especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
What? So I gotta investigate black magic? Has Madame Dupree recovered after the ordeal?
Has Madame Dupre recovered from her ordeal?
Dupree.
I'm afraid not. Apparently she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
How unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
I enjoyed it too, but I
Was
felt...
there anything you wanted to talk about before you get started?
Yeah. I enjoyed it too, but I felt like it started to fall apart near the end as far as the game design is when it comes to Thimbleweed Park. Actually, I do agree with you there. In fact, I know the puzzle that totally pissed me off in that game. It was that puddle puzzle where you had to pour the what was it, radioactive waste in the puddle. That way you can see the invisible man walk through the puddle in their footsteps. Oh, that I looked it up. I got so frustrated with that. I ended up looking the solution up. And I think that was the only time in that game where I had to look the solution up. That puzzle pissed me off. Because who would have ever thought that? As big as that game is, who would have ever thought to do that? That's that Moon logic. So yeah, I kind of agree with you there. And Nambi, thanks for the bits. Activated a football giveaway for 7 others in chat. What the hell is that? Cheer any amount to get football emotes? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, actually, I had a couple of questions.
Let's hear them then.
Oh, we can talk face to face.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
Is this for people who have bad memories like me?
What do you know about Madame Dupre?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice, which I can empathize with, and she's extremely rich, which I can't.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupre's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat. You're the only person I know who can put it right.
Upton's intentions are noble, but she has to realize this is just a drop in the ocean.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
Back when I had to call game hotlines for hints. Yeah, there's a lot of people who feel that the moon logic was just a way to get people to call hotlines for hints for LucasArts games, like Monkey Island and Indiana Jones and Loom and Day of the Tentacle, that they made puzzles so silly, so ridiculous. And in the manual that you got for the game, there was a hotline that you could call for hints that would charge like $3 a minute. Something ridiculous. Like a really ridiculous price. And that was a way to make more money. I don't know. It seems kind of, looking back on it, it seems kind of bad. But I can tell you, nobody really thought that way back then. Let's talk about Bill's death.
Don't suppose there have been any developments regarding Bill's murder.
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course there are still those who blame you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
What?
The man who killed him is still out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know.
Okay,
I'll
so...
do the same if I find anything out.
See, she has a priority straight. You could learn a lot from Upton.
Quiet, Bill. So, I guess we have... This is the main quest of the game, I suppose, right? To find the guy who killed Bill and get him out of our head. But I'll have other cases that I'll be able to work on, find clues, investigate, and whatnot, and solve, and eventually perhaps get to Bill. Okay. Hey, Ninja Guy, how's it going? Let's learn a little bit more about Connie. Her name's Connie, right?
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard. It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me. Anyway, work gives me something to focus on. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yes, and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine, although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest. The less said about it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Can you get this guy out of my head? All right.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion.
Hard to believe it's already been 3 months since the big crash.
Big crash. Stock market, I suppose?
Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they? Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
Isn't this coffee machine
All that
looked like a
metal and
heater?
tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee?
I guess it is a heater. Barrels? Oh.
The specialty house brews. These are definitely not coffee.
Sorry, I can't do more bits. Oh, no, don't worry about it, Nabi. Never have to worry about stuff like that.
She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply.
Sure, sure.
Judging by the sooty apron, this man is either a metal worker, a chimney sweep, or just really lazy when it comes to washing.
You'd like the Ace Attorney games? They're adventure games with a courtroom element. I actually own it. I own... No. I don't own Ace Attorney. I own Avian Attorney, which is, I guess, like Ace Attorney, but with birds. I own that one, but I haven't played it yet. I haven't played any of the Ace Attorneys yet.
Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive thug in here. Seems like they have a little something for everyone in here.
What was that? Oh, that's Constance. I don't need to talk to her.
A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add.
Okay.
Professor Xander Colt Tit III's emulsified soporific, available at all discerning pharmacies. I really don't know why you think taking that rat piss every night is a good idea, Fordham.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the medicine we're taking.
Simon Banks, professional chimney sweep. Services start at 2 coppers per hour. Inquire at 305 Merrick Lane. I'm sure he's a lovable urchin, but thankfully, your chimney is clean. P.D. Preston's patented papier-mâché perambucat. Handsomely upholstered in silk, satin, or velvet, and hand-painted in the most artistic manner, as shown in engraving. I suppose if you and Adelaide ever finally decide to have children, something like this will come in handy.
I love how detailed all this is. There's so many things to click on, and it can help, it can help immerse you into the setting of the game, right? And it's stuff, if people aren't interested in this, they don't have to click on it. But I like this kind of stuff.
What a cheery reminder of everyone's impending death. That whole thing about the man in the black robe, complete lie, by the way.
I like that kind of stuff.
Green's sulfur soap. Beautifies the complexion and leaves you smelling fresh as a daisy.
Ew.
Talk about false advertising.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a date for a week after using that stuff.
Makes sense.
Dr. Tennyson's Vigor Pills. Absolutely guaranteed to restore vitality, youth, and vigor, or your money back. For use by men only.
A lot of these names sound
seem to have
familiar.
had a spike in popularity recently.
I guess they're pulled from various authors and works.
Dr. W.S. Sales Wonder Tonic. The best and safest medicine for both gentlemen and ladies. Prevents consumption, general weakness, feverishness, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, loss of appetite, flatulence, and head pain. They should also mention that it prevents breathing, heartbeats, and being alive.
Yeah, that's great.
He and his friend are having quite...
Didn't want to talk to you. I like our little community. It's comforting. It is, Nabi. It is. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So what do we got here? My case book. Question residents of Dupre Manor and question Albert Martin in jail. No clues. No suspects. Alright. So she doesn't think Albert Martin did the deed. Where do we want to...